Hello and welcome. Now in this video finally we are going to start working with Kotlin, okay, inside Android Studio, and we are going to build this very simple and nice application that will give you some of the basics of Android development. So as you can see guys, here we have an edit text where the user can enter something, and also we have this button right here. Okay, so if I enter something, for example anything, then I click this button right here. So as you can see, the text that we entered is shown here. Now of course there is no big functionality that goes here, but you will see that you are gonna learn a lot. And with that in place, let's go ahead and get started. And also the second thing that I'm gonna do is actually show you how to run your Android application. So first of all, we have this Android project, okay, and you have this relative layout that has background color of black. Of course you can add your own color, there is no real matter. Okay, now let's get started and adding our button. So first of all, I'm gonna drag a button right here. Okay, I'm gonna go and center it in horizontally. Okay, typing center, and we have the center horizontally right here. Just take it, and also I'm gonna put it all the way to the bottom of our screen. I'm gonna click align parent bottom, we have it right here. And also I'm gonna add some margin from the bottom to make it visible. Okay, how about 70 dB maybe? Okay, I'm happy with that. And also I'm gonna increase the width and maybe the height. Okay, so here we have the width. I'm gonna make it how about 30 dB, 300, yeah, 300, sorry. And also the height should be 60 dB maybe. Yeah, we have it right here. And also I'm going to change the background color to be something else, maybe white. Okay, and also the text color and the text size also. The text size should be 18 maybe, and the text color we make it black, or let's choose the black one. Here we have it. And also the text should be, for example, show text. Okay, this is all related to design stuff. Now the second thing that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add a text view where I'm gonna show my message. Okay, and center it also. Margin from the top will do great job. Okay, and how about 14 maybe, oops, 15 dB from the top, and also increase the size of our text, okay, just to make it visible for you. Okay, and maybe the text color also is a great property to change. And I'm done with our text view. Now the third thing that we want to do is search for the plain text or the edit text, and drag it and drop it right here. I'm gonna center it in my parent, not horizontally, but in our parent, which will be in the middle of the screen. Okay, we have it right here. Change the text color. Okay, I'm gonna remove the default text of it, which is name. Also increase the text size a little bit, and the text color should be white. Okay, and maybe we can add a hint to it, which is just a placeholder to us. Okay, we have the hint right here. I'm gonna make it anything that you want, for example add text. Okay, and we need to change the text color hint, which essentially will change the color of our hint. So I'm gonna change it right here from, okay, we have it right here. So as you can see guys, what we did it a lot. We have just designed the layout that we are gonna work with. Now the second thing guys that I would like to do, it's really a great and important thing. Okay, so when you are in your life, I mean when you're with your family, with your friends, okay, so all of them, they have a names. Okay, so why they have a names? Okay, they have a names because we can call them by their names. Okay, we can identify them by their names. Okay, right? So my point here, it's actually the same thing goes for the Android development. Okay, so all the views here, we should give them an identifier we can refer to them, or we can call them. Okay, so to make or to control any of the view using our Kotlin code, we need to give it an ID. Now, okay, just identifier. Okay, now, but just now my steps here is, first of all, let's give all the views that we have an IDs and refer them in Kotlin code. Now let's select the first button here. I'm going to search for the property ID, and we have it right here. I'm going to make it, for example, show button. Okay, show underscore btn. Just make sure, guys, you give a descriptive ID. Okay, not, for example, 123 or abz. I don't know why. Okay, and the second thing is our text view. I'm going to name it, for example, show underscore text. Okay, underscore view. And the last but not least, our user input. I'm going to type user underscore input. Okay, now we finished our first step, which is adding all the views, assigning IDs to them. Now it's our job start now, which is work with Kotlin. Now if we expand this Java folder, okay, we have this folder, and the first one, expand it as well, and you will find your main activity. Double click it, and as you can see where it says main activity.kt, which stands for Kotlin. Now, guys, if you remember when we learned Kotlin, there was something called the main function, and it's the main code that will get executed once our program is run. Now the same thing goes here. We have this onCreate. Okay, that's come by default to the Android Studio, which is the main code that will get executed once our program is run. Okay, so we need to write all of our code inside this onCreate. Okay, of course we are going to understand all this stuff later on, but here we are in the beginning. Now, as I said, we need to work with these buttons and text views and this edit text also. So as you can see, we have designed this layout, but now what we want to do, we want to first of all fetch them inside our Kotlin file, then do something with them. Okay, so first of all we need to fetch them, then we need to do something with them. Now to fetch any view that you have in your XML layout, we need to type certain code to fetch it. Okay, so first of all we are going to create a variable. Okay, first of all I'm going to put this in a comment just to explain that. First of all we create a variable, give it any name, then assign the value it to a function that comes with Android Studio, and it will do all the job for us, which is find view by ID. Okay, find view by ID. Okay, make sure to type it like this. Then here we need to give the ID that we have. Now what's gonna do, it's gonna take care of everything that we want to do. It will go and inside your XML file, it will search for the ID, and it will store the whole view inside this variable name. Okay, so let's see that in action. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna new line type var, okay, which is a variable that we have learned previously about it. I'm gonna type, for example, text view. Okay, I'm going to type text view underscore user, which is essentially the text that we are going to show it. Okay, or the box, the text view. Okay, this text view, we have it in the top. Okay, and then assign it to equal to find the view by ID, find the view, okay, by ID. We need to type it like this. Then open this and type r dot id dot your ID, which was show text underscore view. Now guys, as you can see, what we did, we created a variable named text view underscore user, and it's equal to find the view by ID. What it's gonna do with this R, it's a class that comes from Android Studio, and it's had all the resources that we have in our application. Okay, and we want to go from the resources to the IDs, and from the IDs we want to go to this ID, this specific ID, and we want to store the whole view inside this variable. That's what does that mean. Now the dots in Android, it has more than one meaning, and the first one here we have it, it's go from outside to inside, and go from the big thing to specific thing, in this case from all the resources to the IDs, then to this specific ID. Now as you can see, Android Studio will give us an error, because here we are creating a variable and we wanted to store a view inside of it. A view is just a text view, okay? But here we need to do something to convert or to cast something, okay, to convert this variable to a text view. And to do this, what we are gonna do, type as, then the type of the view, in this case text view, okay, and it will do the job. So creating a variable, name it any name, then assign the value to find the view by ID, then r.id.show text view, then we cast it because we are trying to store it inside a variable. Okay, now let's go ahead and fetch the user text or the user input. I'm gonna type var, I'm gonna type user underscore input, okay, it's equal to the find the view by ID. And you maybe guys type find the view and this autocomplete will come from Android Studio, and if you hit enter, as you can see what it's look like. What you need to make sure remove this, okay, just leave it like this, okay, and type r.id.your ID, which is the user input, and just make sure to cast it as an edit text in this case. Okay, now last but not least, our var, the button, which is show underscore btn, it's equal to find the view by ID. I'm gonna remove this, r.id dot the show underscore btn or button, we want to cast it as a button. Okay, this concept as a casting in Android Studio, that means convert between the views and variables. In this case, take this variable and cast it as a text view. Now guys, we have successfully fetched all these views. Now we can control any of the views that we have by using its name. Okay, let me remove this. Okay, now the second thing that we want to do, we want to, as I said, once the user click on this button, we want to take this text and show it here. Okay, so first of all, we need to assign an event listener on this button, or an on click listener. That means the code that get executed once the button is clicked. So just type the name of your button dot set on click listener, and set on click listener, here we have it. This code here will get executed once the button is clicked. Okay, and this on click listener, you can apply it for more than one type of view, not just for the buttons, but in this case we want to add it on a button. Okay, so what we want to do, we want to first get the text from the input. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create a variable. Okay, I'm gonna name it text. Okay, it's equal to the user input field, but we do not want the whole field. We do not want the whole field, we want just the text from it. So I'm gonna type dot text. Okay, and what I'm gonna do also, I'm gonna convert it to string, just to avoid any errors. For example, if the user type something else, numbers, so on and so forth, so I just want to convert it to string. Okay, and we have successfully fetched the text from our user input. And last but not least, what I'm going to do, I'm going to type text view, which is the text view dot text. Okay, that means I want to send a text or set a text on this specific text view. It's equal to our text, and our job is done. I'm gonna explain everything now in details. So first of all, we have fetched everything, okay, using variable name find the view by ID, and we cast it as a view that we want. Okay, and here what we did, we set an on click listener, because what we want to do, we want to do everything after the user click on our button. Okay, now what we want to do, first of all, we have fetched the text itself from this field. Okay, we do not want the whole field, but we want to just get the text from it. Think it like this. Okay, so we are creating a variable. Okay, name it text. It's equal to the field dot text. That means grab the text from this field and convert it to string. Now here we get the text view from here, and dot text, that means, hey, I want to set a text on you. Okay, and we set it to be text, which is the variable that we I've created right here. Now guys, that was our job is done. Everything that we have did so far is great, okay, and we did a lot. It's not just by do not care too much about the functionality, but my point here is give you the ability to fetch all the views and also understand some of the basics method that we can run on these views. So this set on click listener, it's a function that's written by Android Studio, and it will get executed once we click on the view that this method assigned to it, okay. And here, for example, this user field, we are expecting to get a text from it, so that's why we type .text. Here what we expecting to set a text on a text view or show a text inside this text view, that's why we type .text. And there are a lot of stuff that we can do, but for now just leave it like this, okay. Now guys, it's really simple, okay, we didn't do anything much. Now the next thing that I'm gonna show you how to run your application on a real Android device. Now of course, to show your application or to show your code in Android device, there are two options. The first one is using the emulator that's combined with Android Studio, and I'm not recommend for you to do this because for two reasons. The first one is the emulator does not support all the features that with Android Studio, and the second thing, it's actually will destroy your resources, okay, and will make your computer much more slow. That's why I do not recommend it. Now the second option that we have is using a real Android device, okay, and if you have a USB cable, just connect your PC with your Android device and click here on this run button, and here we have the connected devices. Here my Sony, which is Android device, which is running API 21. Of course, you can create a new emulator. Click on this new virtual device. As I said, I'm not going to do all these steps because it will destroy your resources, okay, because it has a lot of size, okay. So but you can go and click next and create your own. It's really simple, but for me, I'm gonna connect my device, click OK, and of course, if this window will show for you, just click proceed without instance run because it will install some of the stuff that we need. Okay, of course, as you can see, Android Studio will start running your Android application, and if it's the first time for you, it may take a while to load, okay, but I'm gonna pause this video until it's finished and we are gonna continue on. Now guys, as you can see, we have our application about running, and as you can see, we can start testing it. So we have everything in place. Okay, we have this our edit text, we have this button, we have also here it's not showing because we haven't entered anything. So I'm gonna type, for example, unrandom text. Okay, I'm gonna click on this button. So as you can see, it's works just fine. So as you can see guys, we have first of all created our first application, and it's really simple, but it has a lot of meaning for you as a beginner. So now that was our first step in Kotlin with Android Studio. Thank you guys so much for watching. We are gonna go in more advanced details in the next video.